The regressed S-rank hunter decided to destroy the guild. The second distress signal rang out at length. Dojin, who had been leading the way, raised a hand. The candidates all stopped at once.
Are we getting closer?
One of the equipment specialists checked the scanner. His expression soon hardened.
No. Something's wrong. I'm picking up 1 signal from the right and 2 from straight ahead.
This time, a faint response came from behind them as well. The injured man caught his breath.
There's only 1 distress button. I gave it to my teammate myself.
Every candidate turned to Dojin. Dojin did not answer right away. He examined the mana flowing through the walls and floor. The signal originated from a single point, but it split each time it passed through one of the safety devices along the way. The devices that were still active were receiving the same signal and passing it on to the next.
There aren't people in several different places.
Dojin pointed out the order in which the responses had appeared on the screen.
The signal from deeper inside is spreading through the devices. We can use it to find the right direction, but not the exact location. Then which way do we go?
Dojin and Se-ah asked. Dojin studied the passage. The path to the right soon split 3 ways. There was no one in sight down any of them. No memories from the past surfaced. No, he could not trust the route he remembered. In his previous life, the middle passage had led to the central area. Now, it had collapsed from the very entrance.
Tell me what each of you notices.
Se-ah went to the left fork first. She placed a hand against a crack in the wall and waited for a moment.
There's almost no airflow. It's probably blocked farther in.
Another candidate pointed to the floor of the middle passage.
This one keeps shaking. Rocks are falling from the ceiling too.
The equipment specialist crouched in front of the last path and checked the scanner.
The fresh claw marks go this way, but I'm getting the signal from all 3 paths.
The injured man looked from one fork to another.
It didn't look like this when I left my teammate behind. Before the large fork, there was a narrow side passage barely wide enough for 1 person.
If it was a side passage, it must not be one of these 3.
Se-ah lowered her mana lamp and shone it along the bottom of the wall. There were drag marks on the floor. They continued toward the far right passage, then veered toward the wall halfway there. One of the candidates knocked on that spot. It sounded more hollow than the other walls.
There's a space behind here.
Dojin could also sense a faint current of mana moving inside the wall. The distress signal originated from farther in and passed beneath this wall.
This is the right way.
He did not enter alone.
The passage is narrow. We'll move 2 at a time with the injured man in the middle. The front will watch the path, while the rear checks for traces of monsters.
Se-ah immediately assigned the roles.
I'll take point. Bring the scanner up front too. You 2, keep supporting him. Everyone else, watch our backs.
The candidates answered briefly. They had to stoop to pass through the side passage beneath the wall. The first survivor gritted his teeth and kept walking. His breathing grew ragged every time his injured leg touched the floor.
Just hold on a little longer.
The candidate supporting him spoke.
If I'm slowing you down, you can leave me behind.
We've already settled that.
Se-ah cut him off without looking back.
We agreed not to leave anyone alone.
After about 10 paces through the narrow side passage, they reached a small junction. The path ahead was blocked by rocks and a bent support beam. An empty passage lay to the left, while the right passage continued deeper inside. The narrow path they had entered through was behind them. The distress signal sounded from within the rubble straight ahead.
He's here.
The equipment specialist shouted. An arm was visible between the rocks. A distress button was clutched in its hand.
Can you hear me?
Se-ah crouched near the gap. A dry cough answered from inside.
I'm here.
He was alive. The first survivor tried to step forward. His injured leg gave out, and his body pitched sideways. The candidates beside him hurriedly caught him.
That's my teammate. He's the one I left behind.
Let me check his condition first.
Se-ah shone her mana lamp through the gap. The second survivor was trapped between the collapsed wall and a support beam. His clothes were soaked with blood around the shoulder, but his entire body had not been crushed. The problem was getting him out. If they disturbed even one support the wrong way, all the rocks above could come crashing down.
We need to widen this gap to get him out.
One of the candidates tried inserting a pry bar. Small stones rained down from above. Dojin turned his head. Several mana signatures were moving through the right passage. The currents in the walls and floor were converging on the small junction.
Monsters are coming.
The candidate guarding the rear raised his weapon.
How many? I don't know, but they're coming from 3 directions.
Dojin checked the scanner. Every time the distress button was pressed, the nearby safety devices emitted a powerful retrieval signal. The monsters were following it. If they confronted the monsters head-on, there would be no time for the rescue. Dojin pointed to the bag held by the equipment specialist.
Do you still have the signal components we removed earlier? 2 of them. I packed one separately from the recording device. Can you reconnect one to the safety device in the empty passage?
The candidate thought for a moment, then nodded.
As long as it still has power.
Se-ah asked.
You're going to draw the monsters that way?
Yes, but a component connected by force won't produce a strong signal for even 10 seconds. If we activate it too early, only the monsters in front will turn aside. The ones behind them will keep following the distress signal here.
Then we need to turn the whole pack at once when they gather near the junction.
Se-ah laid out their roles.
Dojin watched the timing. You 2 equipment specialists activate the decoy signal in the left passage and come straight back. Whoever has the pry bar, handle the support beam ahead. The 2 helping the injured man will guard the first survivor at the entrance behind us. I'll hold the right passage.
The 2 equipment specialists carried the component several steps into the left passage. The candidate with the pry bar placed a brace against the rubble ahead. The pair assigned to the injured man seated the first survivor at the entrance to the narrow passage. Se-ah stood before the right-hand passage where the monsters were approaching, while Dojin monitored the flow of mana from the center of the junction. Dojin focused solely on the approaching mana. The first current entered the junction. The second rose from beneath the wall. The third group was the slowest, but its mana was the strongest.
Not yet.
The equipment specialist in the left passage waited with one hand raised. The scrape of claws against the floor drew closer. Se-ah adjusted her grip on her weapon.
Now?
Dojin watched until even the slowest third group had entered the junction.
3.
A monster burst from the darkness.
2.
Se-ah ducked beneath its attack. The monster's forepaw slammed into the wall.
1. Activate it.
A powerful signal erupted from the left passage. The monster faltered. The mana currents following behind it all veered left at once. Se-ah did not attack immediately. She waited until the monster before her had turned its head and begun following the signal.
They're gone. Let's get him out now.
The 2 equipment specialists returned from the left. One drove the brace in deeper. The other joined the candidate with the pry bar and pushed down. The gap between the rocks widened by the breadth of a palm. When the trapped survivor tried to move, his shoulder caught on the support beam.
Wait.
Se-ah grabbed his arm.
If we pull you out by force, you'll get hurt worse. Can you turn sideways?
I'll try.
Dojin checked the mana flowing overhead. Force was gathering inside the cracked wall.
It won't hold much longer. The upper right will collapse first.
How long do we have?
About 10 seconds.
He had not seen the future with perfect clarity. He had merely read the order in which mana was gathering in the existing cracks. Se-ah turned the survivor inside onto his side.
Pulling now. 1, 2.
Everyone put their strength into the pry bar and the survivor's arms. The second survivor's upper body emerged from the gap. The instant his shoulder came free, the support beam bent sharply.
1 more time.
1 equipment specialist and the candidate with the pry bar pulled him by the waist and legs. His entire body came free.
Back.
At Dojin's shout, everyone retreated. The gap where a man had been trapped only moments before was completely buried beneath rubble. Se-ah first checked the breathing of the survivor lying on the floor. His breaths were ragged, but he was conscious.
Your shoulder is injured. Can you walk?
If someone supports me, I can.
The first survivor took his hand.
What about the last one? Did you see the man they dragged toward the central area?
The second survivor's face hardened.
I saw him. He was alive.
Dojin crouched beside him.
Tell me everything from the beginning. What orders were the 3 of you given? We were told to place safety devices from the junction to the central area, in the order they gave us. They said we'd earn points toward recruitment if we installed all of them. Did you install any devices in the central area? No.
He shook his head.
When we arrived, some had already been placed there. There were 3 devices identical to the ones we'd been given.
Silence fell around them.
Our last teammate said something was wrong. He said he wouldn't do any more until we found out who had installed those devices first. That was when all the devices activated. Did you see who turned them on? No. The signal suddenly went off and monsters swarmed us. I ran here. My friend was caught and dragged deeper inside.
He slipped a trembling hand inside his clothes and withdrew a thin shard.
I secretly removed this from the entry device while we were collecting the equipment.
The equipment specialist inserted the shard into a slot beside the screen.
It stores 1 line for every person who passes through the entrance, recording their mana pattern and the time.
3 different mana patterns appeared on the screen. The same entry time was listed beside all 3. The specialist opened the official roster. It contained only the original 6 members of the team, and none of the 3 patterns that had just appeared. Dojin also read the traces left on the shard by the 3 entrants.
This records 3 people who weren't on the roster entering at the exact same time.
But the record alone did not reveal who had given them their orders. Se-ah opened her bag.
Let's split up the evidence. If one person carries everything, it's over the moment that bag gets taken.
Se-ah took the safety device that retained the timestamp of its external activation. One equipment specialist kept the broken identification marker. The shard containing the entry records went into the inner pocket of the candidate with the pry bar. Dojin took nothing. Instead, he pointed at the screen. A short signal was repeating in sets of 3 from the direction of the central area. Its sequence differed from that of the distress button they had heard moments ago.
Is it the last person's device?
The second survivor looked at the screen and nodded.
It's a wrist-worn installation verification device. Every time a safety device is placed, it verifies the worker's mana and sends that signal. Our last teammate was wearing it.
Dojin confirmed that the signal contained a constant influx of fresh mana from a human body. It was not merely an empty device being dragged away. There was a high chance the last man was still alive. At that moment, static burst from the radio. Everyone turned toward it.
Candidates inside respond. The Cheongun retrieval team has entered.
It was a voice none of them had heard before. Se-ah picked up the radio.
We've rescued 2 missing people. Both are injured, and the last one may still be alive near the central area. When will you activate the return device?
A brief silence followed. The answer that came back had nothing to do with her question.
Securing the echo core in the central area is the highest priority. All candidates are to remain at their current location.
We have injured people. Open the return device first.
I repeat, remain at your current location. The retrieval team will determine whether a rescue is necessary.
The transmission ended. New signals appeared on the scanner, strong, steady mana signatures that had entered through the gate's entrance. The retrieval team was moving rapidly toward the central area. Ahead of them was the last missing person's faint installation verification signal. Both were headed for the same place. But the voice over the radio had not asked about the living survivor even once.
If we wait, we'll be too late.
Se-ah spoke. Dojin stared down the passage leading to the central area. Then he switched the radio back on.
We're not waiting. We're going to rescue the last person before the retrieval team gets there.